I know I'm on a roll with these late reviews, but you know what? Let's talk about this one.
Guys, I totally got this. Yeah, totally, he's got it.
Kevin Hart, Ed Helms, Thomas Middleditch, Nick Kroll.
When it's cut all together like that, you really get a sense of the scope.
DreamWorks' Captain Underpants.
So Captain Underpants, or if you really want to call it the full-length title, Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, is the newest animated film that is based off of a children's book of the same name. And in Captain Underpants, we follow George and Harold, two pranksters that do a crap ton of pranks at their school at the disgust of their principal, Krupp, who is played by Ed Helms, until one day when he's about to sever their friendship, George finds his hypnotizing ring and he's able to trick Principal Krupp into thinking he is the superhero known as Captain Underpants. Alright guys, so let's get into Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me personally, when I was younger, and I mean a lot younger, I actually did read books, but for some reason now that I'm an adult, I don't really read a lot. It's weird. But when I did read as a kid, the Captain Underpants books were actually books I reread the crap out of, specifically the second book. I loved the second book as a kid. But then when I heard they were making a movie about it, I just was like, I don't know if this would work in this time and day of age, especially since that a lot of the humor of Captain Underpants is very potty mouth humor, but it's potty mouth humor for kids. Walking into this thing, I had very, very low expectations. As a matter of fact, I was not looking forward to this movie at all. But I'm happy to say this, but this movie really surprised me. I dug the crap out of this movie. The voice acting, all the voice acting for this movie is great. Kevin Hart, who I am usually not a big fan when it comes to films, I didn't like him in Ride Along, and even though I liked him a little bit more in Central Intelligence, I'm just not a fan of him in film. But however, this is by far my favorite performance of his. I liked him, especially him and Thomas Middleditch's performance as George and Harold. I thought their friendship made the movie. It was very sweet, brought a smile to my face, and seeing them do pranks had me laughing so hard, particularly when you see their montage. Ed Helms as Captain Underpants and Principal Krupp. I have a little thing to say when he was Professor Krupp, but when he was Captain Underpants, I thought he was so perfect as Captain Underpants, especially when you see him when he first transforms into the iconic hero. The way how he interacts with the world, it was such a fish out of water situation, and those things can go so awry. But holy crap, how he put that specific character into this one little scene I'm talking about, it had me dying with laughter. Hearing Ed Helms say tra-la-la-la, I couldn't believe how much that made me smile. Also, Nick Kroll as Professor Poopy Pants, yes, that's an actual character in the movie. And by the way, that's actually one of the books in the series, the Purelius plot of Professor Poopy Pants. And Nick Kroll, I could tell he was having the time of his life voicing this guy. He was so funny. Like, the best way I could describe this movie, it was just fun. It was just a fun animation. This is honestly my second favorite animated film of the year, next to Lego Batman, even though Lego Batman soars above this film. But the thing I really liked about the animation in Captain Underpants was how they include different variations of animation. I'm not gonna spoil it, but how they included specifically one sort of animation in the climatic scene, I thought it was absolute genius. Now the thing I was really worried about when it came to this movie was the humor. It's full of juvenile potty humor, you know, fart jokes, poop jokes, and I was worried that when I was watching this movie that it just would not resonate with me. Turns out I was wrong, because more than, let's say, about 70% of the time, I was laughing really hard, especially with this one whoopee cushion scene that I thought I was gonna die. It was unexpectedly funny. Another thing is that even though this film has that very juvenile humor, there's even that humor that I feel like that adults will get. Like, there were some jokes that I did not expect would happen in this movie. So congrats to the writers for including some adult humor in there as well. But the most surprising thing about this movie is how it incorporates messages about humor and about friendship. Like, it touched me. Now, as surprising as this movie was to me, are there flaws? Sure, of course there are. The first thing I'm gonna bring up here is Ed Helms voicing Principal Krupp. Personally, I don't think that his voice suits Principal Crep, but his voice perfectly fits Captain Underpants. But if I were to choose a replacement, I personally would have probably said maybe Jason Bateman or Rob Corddry. Those are the first names that popped up in my head. I just wasn't a big fan of the voice as the principal, to be honest with you guys. Another thing is as Professor Poopy Pants. Now, when they first bring the joke, it's funny, but when it goes on for as long as it did, I feel like it did kind of get old after a while, and some of the jokes do fall flat. Overall, not only did Captain Underpants really surprise me, but I feel like it does justice to the source material. It's funny, it's heartfelt, has great voice acting, really cool animation as well. And not only that, but I feel like it's a fun time for the whole family. So overall, guys, I'm gonna give Captain Underpants, the first epic movie, a 3.5 out of 5. I cannot believe I'm saying this, I'm shocked of how much I really like this movie. Alright guys, so comment down and let me know below. I know this review was a month late and I do apologize, but have you guys seen Captain Underpants? If so, what'd you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know below. If you guys enjoyed my review of Captain Underpants, please hit that like button and also click the subscribe button right here if you want to see more reviews just like this one. If you guys want to see my review of Despicable Me 3, click right here. And if you guys want to see my earlier review of War for the Planet of the Apes, click right here. And, of course, until the next review, I will see you guys next time.